everyone, today we're going to have a look at the sort of stands that I use for my dolls. This video has been requested by one of my watchers, so this is for you. I have an assortment of different stands that I use for different dolls, so I'll go through them and show you the stands that I have and the dolls that I use them for. This is not to say that you have to do the same or anything like that, I'm just sharing what I use. So I found that these kinds of stands are brilliant for fashionistas. I have quite a lot of fashionistas on display and I find that they're forever falling over unless I put them on this sort of stand. They fit on just like this. The ankles just clip into the little thing at the bottom. They're quite inexpensive. I think something like 15 for £8, something like that. You get quite a few. I've got DJ on this one at the minute, and another thing I like about them is that they've got a smallish base, so they don't take up a lot of room at the bottom, so I like those for that. I do also use them for some other dolls, but I found that dolls with articulation, you're all right with the made to move dolls because they're quite stiff in the joints, but dolls say like the Monster High and Ever After High, whose joints are looser, they tend to flip backwards on those stands, so I don't use those stands for them. I think the Mycene dolls would be okay on those stands. Vintage Barbies, Bratz would all be okay on those stands. You can see this Bratz doll without the shoes, that is, for the Bratz, because I found once the Bratz have their shoes on, normally they don't need a stand. But if they do need a stand, I either use this kind like this, or I use these ones. These ones are, this is Draculaura in this one. They're a bit fiddly to get on, but they're a similar size and price to the other ones there. And for Bratz without shoes, they're just perfect. They're ideal for Bratz without shoes. So yeah, you can see that she's on there fine, and I think you could even put the shoes on with them. You just have to sort of position the feet right to clip their shoes into this hook bit at the bottom. But I do find that these are easier. So this is a Draculaura doll. She'll fit in here as well. She's got quite stiff joints, this Draculaura is, and the way to put them on is like this. You pop them in like this and then stand them up and make sure that you push down and push their feet into this little arc here. Her shoes are quite small at the bottom and fit in there really well, but you find dolls with bigger shoes wouldn't fit. Also, she's a new doll and is very stiff in the joints, so she's not going to fall backwards on there. So yeah, that's that stand. Also, I think this is a Model Muse doll. She would fit on those stands fairly well. You just clip her in like that. She'll stand on there, you know, fairly easily. I think you have to position them so that they're leaning forward a little bit so that she doesn't become top heavy and fall over. But that is a you know, she will fit on there. Then saddle stands. I'm not a big fan of saddle stands, I have to say, and I do only usually use them for dolls that come with them. They're not any that I've ever bought just to, you know, I've never gone out and bought saddle stands. I've only ever got ones that come with dolls. For example, this doll came with one and she fits perfectly onto there and is fine. But a lot of dolls with the saddle stands are not quite tall enough and they sort of waggle all over the place. She fits on there beautifully. She's a Model Muse pose, and I found with the Model Muse pose dolls that they do fit better either onto a saddle stand or onto one of these stands if you just position them right. But for example, let's try a Monster High doll on her. These saddle stands I do only sort of use for Barbies and things. You see what I mean? The Monster High doll's not quite tall enough, so she's waggling all over on there. Yeah. So I personally only use the saddle stands for Barbies and dolls that actually come with a saddle stand. Barbies and collector dolls, I'd say, because some of the collector dolls do come with saddle stands also. So that was those 3 kinds of stands. Then I have these stands, which are, this is it's got a little bit of a bigger clip on it than the Monster High stand. These are the stands that come with the Monster Highs, and these fit perfectly around the Monster High's waist. They also fit Ever After High stands are very similar, and they also usually come with a stand. But not all Monster High, Ever After High and Disney Descendants dolls come with a stand. So if they don't, you can buy these sort of cheaper versions of them. And what I do is, these are bigger clips, so the waist will fit on them, and most dolls will fit on those. The only thing I don't like is that the base is very big, which for a small doll that you're wanting to display on a shelf, it takes up too much space on the shelf. These would also fit around a boy doll's waist. You can get, when you get the Monster High boys, they do normally come with a bigger clip on their stand. Another way I use the Monster High stands is like this. This is my Scene Girl, and I've clipped it around her leg. And if you stand her on there sideways, that's actually an Ever After High stand. The clip is too small for her waist, but it will fit perfectly around her thigh. Usually with the My Scene dolls, I don't need a stand for them. Because their feet are bigger, they stand up fine without one. So I do usually use them without one, but I just wanted to show you that that is one way you can use them. I have also used those on Barbies and on Fashionistas before, but my favourite ones are the ones that I've shown you already, the saddle stand for the vintage Barbies, or the little clip-in ones at the bottom. And then the final stand I have to show you is this one. It's a, I don't own any of the proper Kaiser stands because I'm a bit of a skinflint, and well, I haven't got the money to buy Kaiser stands for all my dolls. I'd rather spend my money on dolls. But I understand that Kaiser stands are really good for Barbies and Fashionistas and things. But this is like a cheaper and bigger version of the Kaiser stand. So for my Blythe doll, I stand her on here because her head is top heavy. I put her neck, I pop this around her neck, and it's perfect for her. You can see that she fits in there really well. These stands do fit most dolls, but they are much bigger around the waist and they're much bigger at the base. So, I mean, that's perfect for my Blythe doll. It's just perfect for her. And I do use these stands for my animator dolls. All of my animator dolls are on these stands that aren't freestanding. And then you can also use them for 18-inch dolls. So I've got an 18-inch doll here. You can see it fits perfectly around her waist, and it does, the back of the stand does extend. It goes up and down as you need it. So they are really good for all kinds of different dolls. Yeah, she stands up there perfectly on that. It's brilliant for her, actually. And she's a gorgeous girl, aren't you? She's my gorgeous girl. Love that dress on her as well. That's an AliExpress or a Wish dress, by the way, just in case you didn't know. And then, let me just show you that you can put other dolls on these stands. These are a little bit, these are more expensive than these stands, and more expensive than these sorts of stands. And I have to say that now I've discovered that these stands fit quite a lot of dolls. These are the only stands I really buy anymore, apart from for animators and bigger dolls. You do need a bigger stand, but these stands will fit. You can stand a Monster High in there, you know, she will stand in there. You can use it for her, but it does just takes up a lot of room, that's all. And you can do the same with a Barbie or a Bratz or a My Scene. you know, they aren't designed for those dolls, but they will work for them. So I hope that's been useful to someone, and I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.